guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm gonna show you how to create a simple database for social networking platform using all these entities. So we'll have to create three tables for that. The first table name is users table. Under that, the ID should be in auto increment format. Auto increment is nothing but if you give a value of 1 for the first person and for the second person it should be 2, you need not have to enter the value for the second person. It will be automatically taken as 2, 3, 4 for the following persons. Username is with varchar. Varchar is nothing but it can be either an integer value or an alphabetical value. 60 represents the number of letters the username can carry. The same applies for email address as well as address. The DOB is with the timestamp. The timestamp format is year, month, date, hour, minute and second. You can either add timing or you do not have to add the timing. That is up to you. Again, the registered on and last logged on is with the same timestamp. The second table is friends table. Here also the ID is auto increment and user ID. If the user ID is unsigned, if my ID is 1001 and I enter the value of Sneha like alphabetical order, it will show as not null. It will take only the integer value. So that is why we use not null statement here. Again we have friend name with varchar 60. The third table is user profile. We'll have to create ID, user ID and location for that. Once we are done, we have to apply all these operations under the tables. So open MySQL, enter with root password. The first thing which we have to do is we have to create database in order to do all the table operations. So I'm giving the database name as social network. Yeah, whenever you create a database, make sure that there is no space in between the database name, and whenever you end a command in MySQL, make sure that you end it with a semicolon. If you don't do it, the query will not be executed successfully. Let me show you for an example. See, I get an arrow mark. Arrow mark is nothing but the continuation for the first line. I'm just giving a semicolon, enter. Now the query is okay. Once we create the database, we have to use it. Use social network. Now the database has changed. Now we'll have to create tables. So our first question is create table with fields of appropriate data types. So let's get doing that. Create table users. ID will be with integer values of 3. Auto increment primary key. Username is varchar of 60. You can give any number of values of your wish. I'm just giving this for your understanding. For example, 255. DOB is with timestamp. Registered on with timestamp as well. Last logged on again with timestamp. So before you give enter, make sure that you have entered all the values properly, otherwise it will throw an error. So always cross verify whatever you have entered. Query okay, 0 rows affected. So the first table is created with data types. Let's create the second table, friends. Friends. Again ID I'll give in integer format. With auto increment primary key. User ID with again integer number of 4. If it is unsigned, not null, should be visible. Friend name with varchar 60. So always cross verify once you enter. Second table is also created. Now it's third table. Create table users profiles. So again here ID with integer value of 3. Again auto increment. User ID with integer value 4. Again, if it is unsigned, not null should be visible. Location is varchar of 50 and enter. The 3 tables are created successfully. Our second question is verify the table created using describe command. Okay, so let us use the command describe to verify the tables which we have created. Describe users, our first table. Great, we have ID, username, email address, DOB is active, registered on, last logged on. All the data are given successfully. Let's check for the second table. Describe friends. This is also created. Great. Describe users profiles. All the 3 tables are created successfully without any errors. So the third question is insert 10 users and some friendship data in fields. Insert into users values. The ID will be 100. The username will be Alan. You can give any names of your choice, but make sure that whenever you enter values apart from ID, you will have to put them in double quotations. Only then the values will be taken. Otherwise it will not be taken. So the mail address could be Alan at 123@gmail.com. Address will be Nagarkoil. DOB is in timestamp, so 1993. You can give any date of birth of your choice for any persons. If you know the real date of birth also, you can give them. And the registered on date with time. And the last logged on time. So whenever you complete it, make sure all the values are entered properly. Cross verify all the data. See, I have not given the quotations here, so it will throw an error. So always cross verify 1 to 2 times before you give enter. The query is successful. And for the second values, for the second person, you cannot add insert values like we have done in this step, because we have given ID as auto increment format. So whenever we give ID as auto increment format, we cannot add the IDs. So what we have to do is insert into users. We'll have to add the questions: username, email address, DOB, registered on, and last logged on. Here in between we have to add is active. And we are done with the questions. After closing the bracket, here we have to add values, the second person's values. So what could be the name of the second person? Soumya. Her mail ID will be soumya123@gmail.com. Her address will be Nagarkoil. Her DOB will be 1993 9/13. So in the same way you will have to give the registered date and the last logged on date, 2010. So whenever you add all these fields, it will be a bit of difficulty because you will have to make sure that there is no mistakes while you enter these things. So as far as I found, I made a mistake in this line. So the spelling of last logged on was wrong. Registered, make sure every spelling is correct. Enter. See, I got an error. This is because I've not given the space here. I've not given the dash here, and the 0 value was entered. So the format should be perfectly correct, only then the values will be successful. See, the query is working fine. In the same way you have to add the values for the rest 7 people. So if you in your keyboard you can see that you'll be having an upside arrow mark key. So when you press that, you will find the values that you entered previously. So it will be easy just for you to edit it. You need not have to edit the questions, you'll only have to edit the answers. So my third person name will be Tamil. Her mail ID will be tamil123@gmail.com. Her place will be, so if you just edit it, it will be easy for you to get the output. Agateshwaram. Her date of birth will be something like 12/3/1995. In the same way you can edit for all the people. And enter. In the same way you have to add it for 7 other people. If you do it in this way, it will be more easier and the errors will be really less. Now that you can see, I have added for all the people. So we have 10 number of rows. So let's view the table now. So the command for that is select star from users. See, all the 10 datas are entered successfully here. We have not given the ID, but it has auto incremented you because of the data type which we have used. So now let us insert values for the second table. Insert into friends values. Her ID will be 100. User ID will be 1000. Her name will be Amuda. The query is successful. Insert into friends. Because the ID is in auto increment format, so we have to give the values as we did in the user table. User ID, friend name. Values, her user ID will be 1002 or 1001. The friend name will be Balu within single quotations, and enter. The query is successful. Just press the above up arrow key. Just change the values. 102 Sneha, 103 Pallavi, 104. See, now we have added values in friends table, so let us add some more names here. Bhavya for 5, Annapurna, Johit. Okay, so now let's see what are the values we have inserted in tables. Select star from friends. See, all the data which we entered here are visible perfectly. So our next question is add a gender field of type char1, allow null values for this field. So we have to edit a field here. So what we have to do is the command alter table users, add gender character of 1, query OK, 10 rows affected. So let's see. Describe users. See, additionally the gender tab, gender values are inserted here in the last. Fifth question is rename friends table to user friends. Okay, so we have to rename the table name. Again, the command is alter table friends, rename to users friends. So now the table name is changed. Describe users friend, sorry, users friends. See, the table name has changed successfully. Our next question is modify the DOB field type to date of birth. Okay, So the command for this is alter table users change column DOB date of birth timestamp. So alter table users change column DOB date of birth timestamp. Enter. So now this has also changed. You can use it by describe users. See, the DOB field has changed to date of birth here. The next question is remove field is active. Okay. So again the command is alter table users drop column is active. So the is active field is removed. If you see here, even this is the user tab. Here we were having is active, but here we don't have it because we have removed it. The eighth question is drop the table user profile. Okay, so the query for this is drop table users profiles. So now the table is taken out. For seeing this, we'll have to choose show tables. See, we have only users and users friends. The user profile table is removed successfully. So I hope you all understood the experiment which I performed today. So whatever doubts you have, just drop it in the comment section so that I can help you by reading them. And thanks for watching this video. Hope this video was really helpful for you people to understand the MySQL programming language. So looking forward to help you with other experiments as well. So until then, take care. Bye bye.